Okay, guys, welcome back to the channel. It's been a minute. I think the last video that we did was concerning the seat covers or something like that. Life has been busy and I have not had a whole lot of time to do anything concerning the Maverick. As a matter of fact, the last thing that we talked about was the recall concerning the battery in the early model Mavericks. They replaced the battery. They want you to bring it in. They tell you that they're going to make you aware when the parts are available. I never got any notice. My battery did die, and subsequently, in order for me to get from point A to point B, I had to go ahead and purchase a battery from Batteries Plus here where I live at. And I was not aware of how that process would play out as far as me being reimbursed, because as I reported to you last time we talked, I had to take my vehicle into the dealership. They took out my brand new battery and replaced it with a Ford battery, but they also kept my brand new battery. You don't get to keep your battery and they replace your battery as well, unless you're not going to get refunded. But I did want a refund because I don't need to have a battery sitting around that I cannot use. So in the process of doing that, I was asked at the dealership to give them the original receipt, and they would send in all the information. The recall would be cleared off of the record of my vehicle, and I would be reimbursed for the battery that I did purchase. Now, right out of the top of my head, I want to say the battery that I purchased was a good battery, really good battery, and it was about $265, which is not cheap, but hey, we're in the world now. It was an AGM battery, so of course AGM batteries are more expensive. And you know, I kind of wanted to keep the battery that I had. I would have preferred that, but in order for me to get refunded, I had to give them the battery that I purchased and take the one that they put in. So be aware of that. If you have replaced your battery already, the only way that that recall is going to get erased from your truck's history is for you to take it in, and they will replace your battery with one of the Ford batteries. Now, having said all of that, what was the process like? Well, I would love to tell you that that was the 13th of October. Yes, that is the truth, the 13th of October. And as of today, which is now the 12th of November, I had not heard from anybody at the dealership or Ford. When I went through the process, they told me they would send in the paperwork and then I would be receiving a check from Ford Motor Company. So this morning, I was off. I really wanted to go fishing today, but it was saying that it was going to be 10 to 20 mile an hour winds, and I just didn't want to get out there like that. So I said, let me get some stuff done that needs to be done. Let me call the dealership. So I gave them a bit of time because, you know, sometimes you call first thing in the morning, they're busy, busy, busy. So I waited till about 9 a.m. this morning, called the dealership, and I was able to reach someone in the service department, and the lady kindly told me, we don't handle that. You have to call Ford customer service, I think it is, or customer concerns or whatever. They gave me a number. I called and they transferred me to one department, and then they transferred me to another department, and I was able to tell them the entire thing of what had happened. And they consequently told me, well, I can give you an address if you want to send in the information of your claim and the work that the dealership did. And I'm like, hold up, wait a minute. What is the process that I am supposed to do so that this is handled properly? Because my dealership, the dealership that did the work, told me that they would send the paperwork in, then I would be receiving a refund from Ford, and that they would turn in the information. Are you telling me that they did not turn in the information? She said, well, let me see. So they asked me for my VIN number. They asked me for my name. They asked me for all the information, the model, make, all the information, amount of mileage, and all those type things. And then the lady says, well, I can give you an address and you can send all of that information in to us, and then we can take it from there. I said, wait, hold up. What I'm asking you, is this the proper format that is to be followed? Are you trying to tell me that the dealership did not do that? That they should do that? She goes, well, the dealership usually does that, and then we take it from there. So are you saying that they didn't do that? And she says, they're supposed to do that, but you can still. I told her I'd take the information. And she says, well, what? And then I was saying, well, I just want to do things the right way. She says, well, tell you what, let me contact the dealership that handled the service, and I will put you back in touch with them right now. So she puts me on hold. She says it's going to be 3 to 5 minutes. So I wait. I'm being patient. I'm being kind, nice, and all of that, because I do. And if you guys don't understand this, this is not a Ford Motor Company problem. Yes, it's something that probably you and I are dealing with any dealership, any company. There is a lack. The generation that is now at the controls of handling customer relations. I don't care whether it's when you're buying an appliance from Lowe's to the place where I work. We have an issue that we have people who have not been properly trained, or people who are just coming into the field that do not know how to properly go about customer service and handling claims from customers, and the customer service in most places that I find. Now, there is an exception to every rule. There are certain things that I've done and it has been perfect, but most of the places where I've had to deal with anything that is related to customer service, whether it's a vacuum cleaner or some work that I've had done on the house, it has always been the same thing. There's a disconnect between the customer and what's supposed to happen after the customer if they need service. To make a long story short, she put me on hold for 5 minutes. She came back after 5 minutes. She says, the call got disconnected as they were trying to find the person whom I needed to talk to. Hold for another 3 to 5 minutes, and I will see if we can get reconnected. So at this point, I'm thinking, so another 3 to 5 minutes goes by, and the lady comes back on the phone, and she goes, sir, what has happened is the dealership, the person who handled your claim, did not understand how to properly send in the information. I told them that I gave you the information as well and that you were going to send it in, but they're supposed to send in the information now. Never did get to talk back to the dealership because apparently there was a scramble. That's why it probably got cut off the first time, because they're trying to figure out who did what and why didn't they do what is now supposedly being done. Now, am I going to just let this go and wait? I'm going to give it a week. If I don't hear anything from Ford in the process of me getting a check, then I'm going to call back to the dealership and find out if the thing that was supposed to be done, the information sent in from the dealership to Ford, so that I would get my reimbursement check, to make sure that's done. Now, I could easily right now take and send in the information that I had, the repair order, the work order where they replaced my battery, and a copy of the receipt, which I did make them give me a copy when I gave them the original receipt. But I should not have to do that. That's going to be my last recourse. Do I want my $265 back? You darn tootin' I do. But I'm not going to do extra work because someone on the other end did not do theirs. Now, if I have to go that route, then that's what I will do. But I'm going to give them a chance to get it right. Because if I have to do all those other processes, the stuff that they're supposed to do, then when you ask me, when you send in a survey and ask you to take a survey after the phone call and they ask you, how was your service? Were you satisfied? Did this go right? Did that go right? If I have to do those things myself, then my service was a wash, because I have to do all those things myself. And that's what customer service is supposed to be. You're not supposed to have to do all those things. They're supposed to handle these things professionally so that you, the customer, are satisfied. So we're going to see how this all plays out. I will definitely be telling you guys how it all works out. In the meantime, on other notes, I have been watching some of the guys who have Mavericks in this area, and some of them have been going to the Friday night drag strip down at Old Dominion Raceway, which is 15 minutes from my house. And I commented on one of the forums how that when I took my Maverick to the drag strip, that I put it out there on my YouTube channel and on the Maverick truck forum, and no one took me up on it. And I ended up going down the track at MIR, Maryland International Raceway, by myself. But I would certainly love to do that here at Old Dominion. Now, it's going to be closing down soon because of the weather and wintertime. But when we get to spring, I'm definitely going to be all in on maybe having a Maverick meetup at Old Dominion Raceway on maybe a Friday evening. Some of the people who are local here in the Fredericksburg, Virginia area, meeting up down there, and maybe if anybody wants to do a drag strip time. It's no prep. It's a no prep area. It's not like you're going to be totally violating your Maverick. I know some people are afraid that they're going to break something, and I think oftentimes people are confused as to how durable these vehicles can be. It's not going to be like on a super tacky, sticky drag strip. It's going to be on like a street. So, not to say nothing can break, but I mean, the likelihood of you breaking something in a 260 plus horsepower Maverick is pretty much slim to none. But yeah, people have broken them, taking them beyond the limits of the stock tunes and things like that. But yeah, I would love to do that with some of you guys. Some of the people who have been following this channel a long time, know that I had some Maverick meetups when the Mavericks were first coming out, and we had light turnout, because people were just getting their Mavericks. I think the most Mavericks that I ever had at one of the meetups that I did was maybe 5, maybe 6. One guy came by and left, but yeah, it seemed like they weren't that successful then, and I don't know how many Mavericks were in this area at that time. I would love to do one of those again, but I really don't want to put the effort, time, and money into doing that if people are not going to show up. So if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it right. So let me know in the comments how many people in the Fredericksburg, Virginia area, if we have a Maverick meetup, even before next spring, maybe we can do like a winter meetup where we all meet at a coffee shop or something and just, have a Maverick talk good time. If you're interested in anything like that, please leave me a comment and I will know that you saw this video and that you are interested in doing that, and we will make it happen. We can make it happen. So I just wanted to let you guys know today about this recall and how far we've gotten with it after a whole month. I do not have a check, but hopefully by the next time on the next video, I will have my money and we'll get on with our lives. But thank you guys for tuning in. Stay tuned. We'll be back with some more Maverick stuff. You all have a blessed day.